realizing that about a year ago, he was on a webinar, broke, down to his last few $100s, right? Never had any success in his life, never made more than $3,000 in his life, ever. And now he's here, right? And if that can happen, magic can happen for you now, right? And all you've got to do, all you've really got to do is just decide to believe in yourself like we believe in you, right? Because this is going to be a lot bigger than any of this is. And here's what I'm looking for, and this is what I always look for, right? So maybe it doesn't feel that special. But what I'm looking for is I'm looking for who in this room is going to stretch this year, right? Who in this room is going to stretch this year, right? It's a good question to ask. And it's Simon, I've seen you, brother. I didn't even see you. Give Simon a hand. Probably in Lake Simon or something like that. You guys partner up for this? So part of this is your team too, or are you just here?
Yeah, I've got about 10 from the UK here, and a few from America also in my team, so yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Who in here is on one of our teams somewhere and somehow? We kind of adopt people in what we call the WOW network. Any strays and empower that need support, we kind of adopt them. Most of our team has found something or another, so
Cool.
glad to have everyone here.
Well, this is all I'm going to say, and then we're going to take off. We got to jump from place to place to place. We got short time. Okay. What I'm going to say is that you guys, who here has gotten more value this weekend already than we paid? Right.
Oh yeah.
Now, this is a disconnect. Everybody's got varying levels. People always think they need something they don't need. You know what I mean? Usually, if you're struggling, probably what you think you need is not actually what you need, right? Because you're struggling, and that means you're not aware of what to do. Right? If you were aware, then you know, and you wouldn't be asking a question, right? So that was a really convoluted sentence, like Chris Darty says all the time, but I talk about it. And here's what most people need, especially if they're newer or not having success at a high level yet. What they really need is they need a little bit of a shift in their identity financially, a shift in their identity of what they can achieve and what they can do, right? And everybody in here, I'm telling you, you're at least 10 times greater than the best achievement you've ever had. Okay? And I know that because I've seen so many crazy stories of people that you would not know what they did later was possible. Right? I use Justin Berenji all the time because it's a newer story and because I know him personally. But there's thousands of them here. Who here's made money with us? At least a little bit. Right? Now, not everybody. Right? Some of you don't want to raise your hands because you don't feel like it's enough or whatever. And I actually think it's funny here because people who are struggling in normal network marketing business, they aren't making usually $25 a month or $100 a month. They're like I'm struggling. And people who struggle in power are like I'm only making $3,000. You know what I'm saying? It's just different. It's just different. Here's the thing, guys: is realize number one, the goal that you've got now is probably too small. Number two, you're greater than that you think you are. You just are, right? And number three, you can do whatever you want to do with this, whatever you want to do. There are people in this room, and all you need to do is act and take action and focus for once in your life, right? And all of us, hey, look, God, I mean, have I been like the most ADD person ever or what? You know what I'm saying? I am in this speech. I can't even stay on the same topic, or am I doing that on purpose? None of you really know. And I've been the most ADD person in the universe, right? But when I realized something, I realized that in order to achieve anything great, I had to have a vision, and I had to know why I wanted it, and I had to focus on it like there was nothing else. When I realized that, that's when I started to achieve results. Because when I got clear, everything around me changed. My brain started deleting all the failures I had. All of a sudden, it wasn't necessary to me anymore. So a couple things for you. First of all, how many people in this room are going to be in Chicago? Okay. Everybody. Now, how many of you have already bought your tickets? There's a problem there. Okay. You see that? Right? When you make a commitment to something, take an action. Let me tell you a story real quick here, and this is useful for everybody in the room. Right now, I'm not putting you on the spot if you didn't raise your hand the second time. You're a little nervous, so I'm challenging you, right? And that's okay. I've been challenged too by people. Aaron Raskin challenged me the other day. What I do is never listen, right? Because that's how you grow. When somebody's around you and they give you good feedback, you grow. Right? You guys okay with good feedback? Okay? Do I have your permission to coach you a little bit? Yeah. Okay, we're in Florida, and Chris Recker's down there with us. Now he's part time. He made $40,000 last month, and he was selling an unusual amount of master's courses. Right? More than almost everybody in Power Network sells per person. Now, Vic probably is more right now, right? But I said, what are you doing? Because if you're doing something excellent, I want to know what you're doing, right? So what are you doing? And what he's done was he basically offered a personal incentive if they bought by a certain date the master's course, and then he just kind of kept extending the incentive. You know what I'm saying? You know, like I'll take 10 in the next 2 weeks. Okay, I'll take 10 in the next 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Well, because he was doing that, because he was connected with his team and giving them specific challenges, right? Rather than just saying just buy it whenever, which is what most of us do, right? He had a lot of people who were taking action immediately. So as a result of that, he was making about $3,000 a day, and then he took a 2-week vacation and still made $40,000 in December, part-time, right? Which is ridiculous in anything in the world, right? Now, here's what happened. You remember this, Dave? I was in the room with Chris, and I said, so that's what you're doing? He said, yeah. And I said, everybody, we've got leaders in the room right now. We need to do a live stream and record something with time-based incentive, right, that goes into a funnel that exists on our site, so we can take what he just said and we can implement it for everybody. And they said, when? And I said, now, get the emails out, right? We sent emails out within 10 minutes, right? About 20 minutes later, we were on a live stream, and we were recording with the video camera, which is why you put the live stream cut out, that now is in the funnel that's in the coaching series on the site. What's the point? It took me exactly about 30 seconds to take action. I was in a network marketing company called ILG, and probably shouldn't repeat that, but it's okay, they're out of business because they're morons, right? So what happened was, is I was building this thing, I had this big dream, and the company owners canceled on me, right? But I realized something, that you have got to take action quickly, okay? When you make a commitment, you've just got to take action, guys. There's no waiting around, right? If you want to get results, when you learn something, start taking action immediately. I like Chris Hardy says that all the time. He kind of embeds team take massive action in every sentence, I think. You know what I'm saying? But the reality is that taking action immediately is super important, right? So here's what happened. Company goes out of business. Guess how long it took me to move my team? About 8 hours. You remember that?
I remember that.
Phone hung up. I was in a new organization, right? Taking my team with me a half an hour late. Made $6,700 in a day in a company where it didn't make any sense. Why? Because I took massive action. Now, what did you guys just tell me when nobody raised their hands when they said they have tickets already? It means that you made a commitment to go there without buying tickets immediately, right? And I'm going to tell you as a behavioral thing that if you want to create massive results, right, here's what you've got to do. You learn something and start acting on it immediately, right? And it changed your life, right? I'm telling you that, of course, because I just asked the question. Now, here's what I want to challenge you guys to do. Who's going to go to Chicago? Yeah. Who's going to buy their tickets for the next 30 minutes? Come on. Buy your tickets, right? You need to buy your tickets before this weekend. We're going to increase the price anyways, but you need tickets there, right? You just do, right? Yeah, we'll figure it out. It'll be on the website. I don't know where it's at, right? I actually didn't know where this one was at either. Now, second thing, and then we got to go to the next room, right? Guys, we have this is what we're looking for, all right? Because, and a lot of people, look, we're all weirdos, right? We want to go out there in life and, like, conquer great things, but never want to commit to anything, you know? It's me, it's like men are like, it's like, you know, I want to be with this girl, but also these three, you know what I'm saying? It's just how we are, right? Well, if you guys want to create results, you got to get around people that know what you want to know and act like you need to act to create those results. If you want to learn great kung fu, you don't go and learn from, you know, a fat, slow guy that never did kung fu. You go learn from the guy who's a badass, right? Tomorrow we're getting together with the all-in people in the Power Network, right? We'll be there, right? Who in here will be there, right? I'm telling you, all of you need to be there. Okay? If you want results here, you need to make a commitment. When you stretch yourself and you take action all the time consistently on your vision, magic happens in your life. The universe bends around you. Okay? You know that even if you're not doing it. Right? If we all do that as a community, we can be 10 times greater than we are. So with that, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for doing what you do. I didn't mean to interrupt your meeting. You know, yeah, you just got started. You'll be here for 18 more hours. Just stay up till me tomorrow, right? Just stay up till tomorrow. Get your tickets tonight to Chicago because we'll call you out in the room again tomorrow. You'll feel better, you know. I hate making you feel guilty. At least you won. I just have to say that. Huh? At least you won. Yeah.
And it's free internet at Marion.
Yeah, free internet in the America. You've got it. If you don't have an internet, you know, if somebody's got one, they can test around the internet. Make sure your neighbor has at least 5 tickets, and if they don't, say, what's wrong? And, no, seriously, meet us back, get clear this weekend, and what's the rest?
No, super useful. A lot of things you said were super important. People picked them up. I did. Guys all say this. Done reframes great, and done food and power because they don't have that stage, right? Now we're meeting with you guys in this red team series, and you're here for a specific reason. Here's what I can tell you, okay? Is from observation, what happened, Chris got around us at the very beginning, and he had some skill sets, and he was edifying people, putting him in front of the crowd, and he was able to take those skill sets and then make a lot of money. What you guys need to do is focus over the next 90 days and get on stage in Chicago. And I'm telling you something, you can. And I'm telling you, and some of you will listen and some of you won't, and I'm not here to sell and tell, but if you focus, and if you get on stage in Chicago, give you the opportunity to do it, your life will change. I'm telling you, your life will change. A lot of you are looking for the secret, you're chasing the dragon, and I'm telling you that if you can get in front of people, you can get on stage and get some edification from us, because why does Chris Darty sell so much? A, he's good, B, because he's got lots of edification, okay? The only difference between him and you, okay, you're sitting in the chair, and not a whole lot of people know your name right now. That's why, okay? That's why in sales presentations, social proof testimonials are the most powerful part of a sales letter or sales presentation, because you can have the most compelling sales presentation in the world, and if that person is watching thinking that nobody else is doing it, they will not buy. What if you have the worst sales presentation in the world, and a crowd, an army of people is storming the door? Do you know what people will do? They'll go just because everybody's doing it. So that's the power of social proof. Okay, so I'm telling you guys, if you want to change your life in 2013, you have to create a result that is going to be worthy of us edifying it. And when we start to edify you, what happens, Chris? Everything happens.
Magic.
That's all I got to say, guys. And if you can let that marinate, it'll change your life. I love you.
Love you too.